What's going on, everybody? ODC here, and today I'm here with my top 10 most wanted Black Series obscure slash glub shitto character list for 2026 and beyond. I wanted to go a different route. A lot of people are going after the I guess more well known characters that are still missing from the line. A lot of prequel stuff. Some OT stuff that I've been seeing, but not enough, I don't think. But I wanted to compile this list of more obscure characters because I still think, while the vintage collection line is the world building line, they consider the Black Series line as the more character driven line, where I'm kind of been lacking in a lot of other characters other than the more well known ones. So I wanted to think a little bit, I guess, outside the box, and I also wanted to include a big ticket item, whether that is a HasLab or whether it is a made to order item. I wanted to add that in here and kind of talk about some of the lesser, I guess, talked about and lesser known characters, but for us diehards would love it in 6-inch plastic form. So, but yeah, I think this list is going to be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. This is just my personal top 10 list. Let me know what your top 10 list is in the description or in the comments below, not description box, but comments below. And let's get into it. Okay, so my first big ticket for the big ticket item, it's going to be Jabba's skiff. And we're obviously never going to get a sail barge because it's just too big. It'd be like the size of a dining room table. But I think a skiff, you can get away with it, and you can fit, as you can see here, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters on a skiff, and you could have the little plank come out of the bottom. I think it'd be a lot of fun. It could even include some characters like some skiff guards with it to kind of bolster up and get people really psyched and excited for a skiff in 6-inch plastic form. We've seen it with, I think we had a few releases in the past. So I think I even have a 4-inch or 3 3/4 inch version myself. And yeah, it's a vehicle from my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and I think it would be really, really appreciated. And we don't get too much world building stuff in 6-inch form, but I think this is one where you could, even if you wanted to include the mouth of the Sarlacc, kind of like as an attachment for the skiff, you could do that as well. And like I said, made to order thing. This would probably be like a $300 or $400 item, and like I said, include some, maybe 1 or 2 figures with it, with that, Sarlacc pit mouth. I think that'd be pretty cool. And they actually released a version of that with the Sarlacc pit. I think back in the 30th anniversary, I want to say. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I just think this would be an item that is something somewhat that no one's really talked about, brought up, but it is something that is obtainable through the Black Series line. I think a lot of people would appreciate it. Yeah, and I've even made my own customs for some guards, so it'd be nice to actually add this to a collection and add this to a shelf. You could even have like a clear stand to kind of have it look like it's hovering. But yeah, there is my big ticket item. Yeah, what is your big ticket item? I mean, I've always wanted an X-wing, but personally, I think that would have to be a HasLab. I've heard stories of in the past that people, oh yeah, well we measured it. People from HasLab stating that it was just too big, and I'm like, well, you can downscale stuff a little bit. It doesn't have to be true to scale. I think if you downsize something a little bit, it can work like an X-wing. It doesn't have to be absolutely 100% accurately scaled to the figure. As long as the figure fits inside, I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, I think this would be a welcome collection. And I think also the other version, I think maybe it was released twice with the Sarlacc, but it was also through the vintage collection line. So there is my big ticket item. All right, moving on to number 10, we've got Wilro Hood. Wilro Hood, there's not too much to talk about here. He is a very obscure character, very, very deep cut. He was released in the 30th anniversary line, which is pretty funny. And I think that was actually as an exclusive, maybe as a Walmart exclusive. I can't remember. But this would be an easy figure, I think, to make. It'd be low cost for the budget on this character, and it'd be a nice little funny deep cut where everyone can have a nice little giggle. He is a rebel spy. You see him with the ice cream maker there, but it's supposedly some sort of plans or something that he's bringing, or some sort of item that we don't know. He is bringing to the rebels from Bespin. But it'd also be nice to get some Bespin themed characters. We haven't had too many of them. Also nice to see some Ugnaughts from episode 5 as well. But yeah, Wilro Hood I think is just a nice funny little pick. They could even reuse parts from I want to say what was it? Some other characters. Maybe like an Imperial Guard or something like that to kind of get the body type and everything like that, because he's essentially just wearing like a onesie and running with an ice cream maker, which they've already made. So we would just need a head, hands, and maybe some different legs you can match up, and it could be a nice little exclusive. You don't even have to put it in the main line. You could just do it an exclusive, like a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, something like that. But I think this would be a fun, nice little treasure for people. So Wilro Hood is the next one on my list. All right, next up, keep continuing with the Bespin theme here. We've got the Bespin Guard. These are the guys that are walking around with Lobot, kind of hanging out, arresting people whenever they can, whether that's the rebels or whether that is the Imperials. They keep flip-flopping. But I always like the design of the Bespin Guards, and I think it'd be pretty cool to be able to get these guys. You could do a multi-pack if you wanted to, with interchangeable faceplates, or if you wanted to, just do two heads with it. You could do a black character head, a white character head, or an Asian character head, whatever you wanted to do. You could do that here. And I think it'd be pretty fun. Nice little army builder for people. Hasbro has been known to do army builder packs for around $44 in the past, or $45, which I think is a nice value right there. And this could be a nice addition to that, whether they release it single carded first and then down the road release it in a 2-pack to kind of get the most out of that mold. But I think people would really want this. And I think if we got this, or if we got maybe some other characters first, focusing more on the Bespin theme, I think, is a lot of people's... has been on the top of a lot of people's wants, excuse me. Just a cool character. You could even include a head with a mustache. Why not? We got Mustache Man right here, Mustachio. Let's go with it. Let's do it. Let's get some more OT characters in the line. It's not like we haven't gotten a lot, but I feel like it's been more focused on prequel stuff lately, and we're not getting a whole lot of OT stuff, which I think is kind of ridiculous, seeing as the OT sells, I want to say, just as well, and is far more iconic of a trilogy than the prequels are or ever will be. So I don't know. Yeah, I definitely think this would be a nice addition. Troop builders are always welcome, and what do you guys think? Would you like this as like a 2-pack, or just a single carded figure with multiple heads and maybe even multiple guns they could put in there? I know the Black Series is kind of stingy with that thing, with that type of thing, adding too much into a figure. The budget would probably be higher. Maybe the figure would end up being like the Commando, but yeah, there it is, the Bespin Guard. All right, moving on, we've got the Pod Racer pilots. Any and all of the Pod Racer pilots. I'm just going to lump them all into one here. We got Sebulba. We did get Anakin technically, but he didn't come with his Pod Racer helmet, which is unfortunate. But, I guess you can kind of make it work, whether that's using Dr. Afra's headgear, or if you want to use Quill's headgear, which is what I used for my Anakin. You can kind of make it work, but you could also get the most out of that Anakin mold, that young Anakin mold, and go with a helmeted Anakin head with maybe like the goggles move up or something. But yeah, all of them. We got him and Sebulba so far. So let's get the rest, man. Let's at least get a few more. Would be nice. Maybe one or two next year. I know a lot of new tooling would go into these characters that are probably not as well known. But I mean, if you're willing to re-engineer or retool, put in all a lot of money and budget into Sebulba, which was a fantastic figure. I think you could do it here with the rest of the characters. Even if we don't get the pod racers themselves, at least give us the pilots. I can totally understand them not doing the pods themselves, but I mean, come on. I mean, this line's supposed to be character driven. It's supposed to be the character line, so give us more characters, please. So there it is. The pod racer pilots is my next one, and moving on to my next pick. All right, next pick is a twofer. It is Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I mean, we we can't have this line without Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Come on, and these are deep cuts. I think you could definitely, without a doubt, throw these in a 2-pack. They have to. They can't be a single carded mainline release. These have got to be an exclusive. I know a lot of people are going to joke, just give us the burnt corpses. That's not going to happen. Hasbro's not going to do that, but I get it. Um, which is messed up that people would want that anyway. But yeah, Uncle Owen and Peru, I think you could throw in some cool accessories with them. Give Uncle Owen a cloth goods robe. And yeah, very, very simple here. Very simple. I would not want cloth goods with Amperu. Just make it all sculpted. And yeah, give us the original trilogy ones, not the prequel stuff or the Kenobi stuff. If you want to do that down the road further, fine. But I would prefer here original trilogy, Uncle Owen and Amperu. And yeah, throw them in a 2-pack, make them exclusive. It's just that simple. And I'm sure a lot of people have been kind of asking for them. So it would be nice to actually get them in the line and be able to recreate some more Tatooine scenes. But yeah, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, I think would be pretty cool. Hell, I mean, you could even do single packs or single 2-packs, separate them, and if you want to put some droids, maybe some newly tooled droids with them, you could. Or a moisture evaporator. You could do that with one of them. Like Amperu comes with a moisture evaporator. Uncle Owen will come with I don't know, a droid of some sort. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I think it would be pretty cool. Or if you wanted to retool a new C3PO that's all nice and shiny, you could do that too. That would be great to put with Uncle Owen as well. But yeah, there's my picks: Uncle Owen and Amperu. All right, next up, we've got the Cantina patrons. Any and all of them. I'm going the same route as the pilots, the pod racer pilots here. Whether it's anybody, I don't care. Anybody who hasn't been released, I think is a necessity. Especially now that we have a land speeder, you could do Wosla. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. There's a whole bunch. You could do Cabe. You could do Jenny if you wanted to. Get a real deep cut in there from a deleted scene. The girl that Han Solo was hanging out before Luke and or even Greedo was trying to take him out. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of characters that you could do here. The Gardinian is another one that I think he's not necessarily a patron, but he is seen outside of the cantina. And I think that's close enough. I think a lot of people have been asking for the Gardinian spy. So that would be cool. I think he's even been made in a Hot Toys has made him. They've made him in 4-inch form. I don't know why this guy hasn't been made. I even made my own custom of him because he's a simple make. But yeah, I think the Cantina patrons are a must. Any of them, like I said, these are easy. A lot of them are very easy, even to make as just customs. Where I used to think back in the day that these are harder figures to make for customs, they're really not that hard anymore to make. So if us collectors can make them and pretty decent looking, I think that the easy route for Hasbro to go would be to, throw in like a couple, like one a wave for the year if you want to do like a theme or something like that, or do like a 2-pack or something. You could even reuse parts. I don't think this is that difficult to do. And the fact that we haven't even gotten a Woo Her yet, I don't understand that. That's very strange to me. But you've released other characters for Tatooine and stuff like that. Like it's very strange to me, the selection. And maybe I get it. They're probably trying to spread it out. But like when you have more obscure characters, I would assume that you would want to add at least like throw one in there, or maybe do like an exclusive 2-pack. Like I keep going back to the exclusive 2-pack thing because it's just so simple to do, and even especially if you're reusing parts and stuff. So I don't know. Definitely Wooher. You throw him in there. He's like the first one I would do, for God's sake. You could retool a new Obi-Wan. I know he's probably coming next year. I'll probably release him next year. But yeah, I think to ignore the patrons. I mean, we got the friggin' modal nodes, all of the modal nodes before we got Wooher. um, which is strange because they're willing to do some of the patrons, but not all of them. Danik Jericho's another one. I think that would be a cool one to make. You could have like, kind of like his little tendrils coming out of his face that he sucks brains out of people with. There's detachable or separate head. That would be cool. There's a lot of fun to be had here with the patrons, and a lot of these alien creatures that they really have been kind of staying away from, which is unfortunate. So, I don't necessarily need them to do a bar. If you're going to focus on the characters, and I'm going to keep repeating this, if you're going to focus on these characters and only doing characters, then focus on the characters. Do the characters that are necessities. All right, moving on, we've got the Rancor Keeper. I think this would be a nice selection. I think even if we don't get a Rancor, at least we can get a Rancor Keeper to go with the majority of our Jabba's denizens and stuff like that. I think Hasbro should revisit the Rancor and maybe dumb it down a little bit and make it a little bit more affordable for people. Maybe charge like $200 for a Rancor just on its own as a made to order, like Marvel Legends did with the Sentinel and Dragon Man. And they could revisit that. And you don't have to attach a figure to it. This figure, I think, will sell on his own in the main line. I think this is a good enough figure where people will sell. Now, you could short pack him if you wanted to, if you don't think he's going to sell that great. But I still think that it's a good enough character and a wanted obscure character where people would be pretty happy about it. You could have him with a removable hood, kind of harkens back to the Power of the Force line. But yeah, man, I think this would be really nice. Have him come with his axe or I'm not sure what that's called, his like staff axe or whatever. But yeah, I think the Rancor Keeper is a must get for most obscure characters. And yeah, I think I just want to really get as many Jabba's denizens and Cantina patrons as possible. Just because I'm kind of sick, getting a little sick of getting the same old 7 to 8 characters variations over and over and over again. I think we've got more Luke Skywalkers, and Luke's my favorite character of all time, but I think we've got enough of Luke to choke a horse. So there's my pick, the Rancor Keeper, and moving on. Next up, keeping within the theme, the Jabba's denizens. Very simple. Any and all. You guys have seen my ongoing series of whether it's shorts or even my custom showcases that I've been doing and focusing on Tatooine and whether that's Cantina patrons or whether that's Jabba's denizens. So I have been making, I want to say, a pretty decent amount of characters myself just to kind of bolster up those numbers. But I mean, we're seeing so many great customizers coming out with kits to make these figures out of existing figures, pre-existing figures, excuse me, that there's no reason why Hasbro just can't do it. It's really just a matter of they're choosing not to. But I think any of them, Reese, um, Yak Face, there's a whole bunch. Snaggletooth, smaller Snaggletooth. I always called him when I was a kid with the red on. You could do that. There's so many, including like I was talking about earlier with the skiff. I try to think thematically and what would make sense to help sell something for the calendar year. And I think if you offer a skiff and then you're offering Cantina patrons and Jabba's denizens, which are all Tatooine themed, and we've already got like Luke's land speeder and stuff like that was released. I think it makes a ton of sense to do these characters. They just got to take the chance and do it, you know? So I don't know. I think there's a lot of, scum and villainy that needs to be made. A lot of bounty hunters that I'm sure a lot of people are intrigued with that are lesser known by the masses, but hardcore collectors are the ones buying these anyway. It's not like kids are buying this toy line. So it's kind of a moot point in that front. And now that they're charging $28, I think it's warranted to be able to say, hey, this is more expensive. Kids are not buying this line. This is meant for collectors. You've got to start diving deeper. You've got to do what the vintage line has been doing for years and give us more obscure characters, more army builders that have not been released yet. If you got to dip into the budget a little bit, I mean, they dip into the budget for Luke Skywalker and all of the new stormtrooper bodies and new clone trooper bodies like every 3 or 4 years. It's like you can't dip into the funds and give us a skiff guard variation here and there, maybe with different overlays. You can separate them like Klaatu's and stuff like that, like Brock Starsher, which would be an easy thing to do. Even if you didn't want to do a whole lot of sculpting, you just paint the panel lines on him, on his chest, and that would be it. But there they are, the Jabba's denizens. All right, next up, we've got Biggs Darklighter. I don't know how we've gone this long without getting this guy, but I think it's a little ridiculous that we haven't. I mean, I would like both versions of Biggs, whether that's and I think if or when they do release Biggs, he should come on an all newly sculpted X-Wing pilot body. They need to do more X-Wing pilots, whether that's females, males, alien types. They need to do this. I've even gone and done my own, for God's sake. It's not even that hard to do. So I don't know. Biggs, I would love his deleted scene look. I think you could put that in a 2-pack with the new Luke body, give him a new head, and call it a day with that. And I'm sure that 2-pack would sell, just based on the nostalgia of that scene anyway. Seeing it was deleted, a lot of people seem to like it. I do, personally. But yeah, and then an all-new body for his X-Wing pilot body. But the fact that we don't have Luke's best friend in episode 4, the guy that sacrificed himself and went down as a hero to make sure Luke got that shot off and, blew up the Death Star. I think this is a bigger deal character than a lot of people like to give credit to. His sacrifice that he gave up, and he stayed in there and sacrificed himself so everybody could eat the next day. I think this is we got Wedge. Why aren't we getting him? It's just strange to me, the character selection again. But yeah, Biggs would have to be a little bit taller. I think he's a little bit taller than Luke, so you would have to have him on an all new body, but that body can really be stretched out. There's tons of other X-Wing pilots that you can do, but yeah, there it is, Biggs Darklighter. All right, next up and second to last is going to be Lobot. No surprise here. This guy's been on my list for years. I want to say at least 5 or 6 years, I don't know, maybe longer. I haven't, I can't remember. But I've been asking for this guy for a long time. And like I said, I like to stick within themes. I talked about Bespin stuff, Wilro Hood, and the Bespin guards, and these all go together. They all go together. You're scratching an itch of getting Tatooine characters, and you're getting more Episode 5 stuff, which has been on a drought. And I'm not going to lie, Attack of the Clones has been on a drought too, so maybe I could have thrown some characters in this list. But I think, yeah, Lobot is a welcomed addition. I don't think anybody would dispute that at all. Yeah, have him come with a pistol and some nice sculpting. I mean, this is a simple release here. This is right down Hasbro's alley of just here's the sculpt. We're going to put all the money into the sculpt of the figure and then just give him a pistol, and that's it. And that's all you got to do. It's very simple. I mean, hell, you could even reuse parts of friggin' Bespin Lando to get that done. It's very close. Just maybe give him some new sleeved arms, a new overlay. Boom, there you go. New belt piece. That's it. It's really that simple. It really is that simple. There are custom kits out there that are just that easy to do. Yeah, Lobot. I mean, I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. But yeah, I think he's on most people's list. I think the next two are the ones that are on most people's list. But yeah, Lobot for me is definitely my number 2 of the, I guess, top 10 here I'm doing of most wanted obscure characters. All right, number 1 with a bullet, no shock. It's Nine Nub. I don't know why we haven't got this guy. And the funny thing about Nine Nub is that you can stretch this head sculpt out. You can use Nine Nub's head sculpt for a Battlefront figure, a Battlefront 2 figure. You could do multiple variations of Nine Nub because you look at the vintage collection figure that they released, they could upscale that and just release it just the way it is. It's one of the few, I think, vintage collection figures I actually have from the more modern era. And it's a really damn good figure. I gotta be honest here. Have him come with his rifle, or just have him come with like a pistol, or whatever. But yeah, I think it's time. It's due time to get this guy, and yeah, the excuses need to stop on Hasbro's part as to why they haven't done it, or maybe it is a more strategic thing on their part. They're trying to like I said earlier, stretch it out, but I don't think that's necessary. I think Nine Nub is an easy pick here. But yeah, so that was my list. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What is your list? Or even if you just have one obscure pick that you always wanted. Maybe it's somebody on my list. Maybe it's somebody not on my list. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, thank you to my channel members for all your continued support. If you want to become a channel member, you can click the link in the description box below, or hit that join button if you want to. If not, if you want to just contribute for free, you can just hit the subscribe, like, and comment. That always helps the channel grow. And yeah, thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.